Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. Today we're going to be discussing the importance of vehicle inventory. My name is Dan Doolin. I'm a product marketer here at CDK Global, and I'm happy to be presenting this topic to you today. Today we're going to start by talking about the state of inventory within the market. We're going to talk about what dealers tell us they want from their inventory solutions. We're going to talk about how data and AI in CDK's vehicle inventory suite help dealers address some of these challenges. Let's get started. Let's begin with the state of inventory in the market today. As you can see, new car inventory is down 10% year over year. And new car sales continue to be on a roller coaster on a month-by-month basis. When we look at used cars, you can see that their inventory levels are flat, but used car sales are up 8% year over year. Used car sales have been steadily increasing over the summer, and August was the best August for used car sales in the last 3 years. When we look at the ratio of inventory to sales, we see that in July of 2025, 1.7 vehicles were in inventory per sale. That's the lowest since February of 2021. When we look back at July of 2019, there were 2.5 vehicles in inventory per sale. So we're down almost an entire vehicle since 2019. For sake of reference, the highest non-recession number of this metric was 3.1 vehicles in inventory per sale, and that was in June of 2017. If buyers shift to vehicles made in the US, Canada, and Mexico, that could certainly make things interesting. And here's why. The current domestic car inventory level currently sits at 249,000 vehicles. That's down 6.7% from last year. But that's also down 64% from July of 2019, and down 80% from July of 2014, and down 79% from July of 2004, further supporting the notion that inventories remain tight in the US market. Now let's talk about how people are finding the cars that they want. In July of last year, 53% of buyers found those vehicles in stock, versus only 43% of buyers finding those vehicles in stock in August of 2025. When we look at the in-transit number, in July of last year, buyers found 19% of their vehicles that were still in transit. And that number moved up to 29% this year. Now that translates into overall customer satisfaction. When buyers don't find their vehicle in stock, their satisfaction level automatically goes down. Now let's talk about what dealers need to protect their profitability. Dealers want to understand what vehicles perform best on their lots and on the lots of dealers like them. Dealers obviously want to get the right vehicles bought at the right price to help them achieve their financial objectives. They want to understand and be able to react quickly to market and pricing volatility. Dealers also want to be able to elevate their speed, accuracy, effectiveness, and consistency of their online presence when they're listing vehicles for sale. Now we're going to look at some ways that CDK is relying on its wealth of data and artificial intelligence to help dealers in these specific areas. We're going to start with appraisals and pricing. We talked about how dealers want to be able to find the right vehicles for their dealership. Well, as you're appraising a vehicle, it's important to understand your sales history and the sales performance of that vehicle with other dealerships as well. For example, on this vehicle, you can see that in our dealership, we've sold quite a few of these in the last 90 days. They tend to sit on our lot a little bit longer than other dealerships, but we tend to have a higher gross revenue number for this vehicle. What's important is that you have this information at your fingertips as you're initially evaluating a vehicle. Maybe it's a vehicle that you don't have much experience with in your dealership or little experience with, and you want to really understand the recent sales performance of this vehicle. Tools like this really help you make those decisions quickly and make wise decisions as well. One thing that's really important as you're appraising a vehicle is have very detailed information about the vehicle that you're appraising, and also very detailed information about other vehicles in your local market that you're comparing it to. Helps you perform that apples to apples comparison. Having instant vehicle information based on the VIN will help you do that. Also, having that detailed VIN decoding of competitor vehicles in your area will help you make sure you're doing that comparison accurately. In addition, on the screen on the right, you can see that the deal flags are brought in from AutoTrader and Cars.com to help you understand an overall perspective of the pricing at which those vehicles are listed. In addition, of course, you have the book value data that you can complete and view on the same screen. True market pricing of a vehicle isn't only understanding what it should be priced at today, but also that in-depth understanding of where it's been and where it's going. On the graph on the screen, you can see there are 3 lines. The black line is the list prices of the vehicle. The blue line is the wholesale value. The green line is something maybe you've never seen before. That is actual sales price data that's coming in from all the transactions across the CDK platform. In addition, you can see those prices going back 6 months, as well as predicted using AI going forward for the next 90 days, helping you create a strategy for that vehicle so that you can sell it quickly at the maximum price. Certainly, a factor in appraising a vehicle is knowing what potential repairs that vehicle might need. In this screen, you can see that we're presented with potential repairs for this 2023 Ford Bronco Raptor. Now, this is all based on CDK's vast amount of repair order data flowing through its systems every day. And for this vehicle, based on year, make, model, and mileage, you can see that there are repair orders out there for engine and drivetrain issues for this type of vehicle. Now, that doesn't mean that that's specifically an issue for this vehicle, but it does give you that information to dig deeper on this vehicle before you make that offer to purchase it. For example, you might go ahead and scan the vehicle. You might also take it in the shop to take a closer look, or also look at the service history for this specific vehicle. Again, providing you with additional information to protect your profitability. As you bring the vehicle into your inventory, all of these great pricing and AI tools stay with the vehicle through its complete life cycle within your dealership. So you can stay up to date with ongoing competitive pricing analysis. The AI pricing forecasts facilitate your profitable decisions, and the book values remain current on that vehicle. Now, to further facilitate that strategy, you can create pricing rules and pricing strategies. The pricing strategies can be based on year, make, model, and trim of the vehicle. And of course, you can have multiple strategies for different types of vehicles or even specific vehicles on your lot. The strategy management tool helps make sure that you don't have overlapping strategies for a single specific vehicle. For new vehicles, you're also equipped with new vehicle market insights. A competitive dealer breakdown of new car inventory and the pricing history at competitive dealers will help you understand where you need to be on that new car. The incentives are all brought into the system automatically, and you can choose which ones to apply to specific vehicles. Now that you've appraised the vehicle, you've priced it, you've got it in your inventory, now it's time to get it merchandised. AI-assisted merchandising will drive your speed to market. Remember at the beginning when we talked about the importance of that vehicle data and it being very accurate and complete? That data is going to drive your AI-generated description. That description gets generated right here within the vehicle inventory suite. You can choose your preferred description style. You can have it be a boring, plain description, or you can have it be an elaborate, exciting description on that vehicle. Now that you've got the vehicle description, it's time to get those photos. You may currently be waiting for a few days for a photographer to show up to take the pictures of your vehicle. You don't need to do that anymore. You can create a shot list for each type of vehicle so that all your pictures are consistent. In addition, you can use the AI Photo Studio to remove backgrounds and add overlays to each of your photos. With the shot list assigned to the vehicle, you can send anyone from your dealership out with the CDK Vehicle Inventory Suite mobile app to take quality pictures of your vehicle. As you can see, the next angle in the shot list is presented to the user in the mobile app. The frame of the mobile app will stay red until the correct angle is matched, and then it will turn green. And the user snaps the picture, and it goes on to the next angle in the shot list. Making sure that you've got the right photos for all the right vehicles at the right angle, all done very well and very consistently, greatly enhancing your online presence. Here are some key takeaways from our discussion today. Uncertainty seems to be certain. Dealers recognize a volatility in the market and desire software tools to help them maximize profitability. AI derived from a deep, thorough data set provides dealers with the tools to create a competitive edge. I want to thank you for your time today. For more information about CDK's Vehicle Inventory Suite, you can learn more at cdkglobal.com/inventory. Thanks again.